This is a video I made teaching about flats in my car, but the video required some visual illustration. So I have my piano board here that I'm going to overlay on as I play back my video to show visually the notes, where they are, and the things that I'm talking about. So I'm going to play this video. It's a little bit long, but if you stick around and you hang in there, you'll be able to actually visualize where all of these notes are and to gain confidence with the flats. So let's do it. This video is for the purpose of memorizing all of the possible flat notes. We're not dealing with a specific key signature or anything like that. If you're familiar with that, we're just learning what are the flat notes, and we're learning how to navigate from the regular notes that don't have flats and to know where the flats are in between them, and to be able to move from one note to the next. Before the end of this set of videos that I'm doing right now, you will be able to, if you practice and put your intent behind this, you will be able to actually navigate by half steps and by whole steps is the goal. And before I start to introduce other music theory concepts, I want to get you solid when it comes to being able to do that with sharps and with flats. In other words, move by half steps and whole steps, because this is a skill that you need in order to build scales. You need to be able to navigate from a note and move by a whole step or a half step from that note and find what is this new note that I'm going to be on. And whatever instrument you're playing, this applies. Music theory applies across all instruments. On this channel, this is mostly a guitar channel, but I've been away for a while and I'm coming back, and listen, I really want to help people to conquer the guitar, to be able to take that. Remember, like they said, like the song, like he could play the guitar just like he's ringing a bell. That's the goal at the end of the day. To be able to take a guitar and have total command of what you're dealing with. But it basically, for me, it occurs to me that in order to really be able to do this, you want to have a solid music theory foundation. So that's why I'm doubling it back and giving that as I'm out here throwing newspapers for, you know, during the hard times that we're living through, right? I have some time in my 60 to 100 hour a week schedule to be able to pass along the knowledge that I've gathered through the last 25, 26 years of being a guitar player and a musician. And I want to make the topics all crystal clear as much as possible. Part of that, you need to master the sharps and flats. So in this video, this is the second video. I think it's the second video or the third video on the flats. But we're going to start to actually practice drills, and I'm going to give you questions, and you can, if you're in a place where you're able to do so, you can answer me. Pretend you're answering me, and then I'll give you the answer so you can know if you were right and if you're gathering the concepts. We're doing drills to develop the memorization now. If you can't talk out loud without looking, you know, funny, then, you know, you could do it in your head. Remember flats. Let's do a quick review. We got A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Those are the notes of the musical alphabet. They're pitches. The letters are the names of that are assigned to those pitches. Those pitches are called the natural notes. They correspond to the white keys on a piano. So just like I said, you want to play a guitar like you're ringing a bell? Hey, I don't mind if you could play the piano too, the same way. I believe that if you really understand the music theory concepts and intervals and things like this, and then you learn how to translate that to the actual instrument, then yes, you do know what you're looking at. And yes, you can navigate that instrument with a strong command. Again, that's the end goal of this channel, to be able to play the guitar from the heart. And have fun with that, by the way. But I don't mind if you do it on the piano. See, because I have the same goal. I'm not necessarily that partial to the guitar. It's just the instrument that I used, right? But I play piano too a little bit. I play the bass guitar a little bit. I play drums a little bit, okay? And I'd like to add later on, if finances and time permit, I'd like to learn. I've always wanted to learn like the violin, for example. Like, so there's other aspirations I have, but the thing is, the music theory will translate no matter which. Skills translate from one arena to another where there's overlap. And so, like, I don't have to learn music theory again. I learned what I learned one time, and I could continue to add to what I know within that field of understanding. So again, the white keys on the piano are the natural notes, and then you have black keys on the piano, and those are what are called the sharps and flats. But really, each one of them is a sharp and a flat, because each one has two names. It has its sharp version, like I call a sharp mode. If you're in sharp mode, if you're in a musical context that makes you think of sharps, then that note is going to be called by its sharp name. If you're in a flat key, a flat context, then you're going to think of that same exact note by its flat name. I did a series with the sharp names, and now we're doing the flat names. So again, the black keys on the piano are the flats. The black keys on the piano are the sharps too. But each note is a sharp and a flat. It just depends on what is your perspective that you're looking at it from. Okay? So sharps and flats are alterations of a note. So when you lower a note by a half step, it becomes the flat, the flat note of it. So like if I have the note A and I go to a half step down, it's going to be A flat. If I go a half step up, it's going to be A sharp. But sometimes we're forced to think of A sharp in flat mode, and it would be B flat. So we need to be able to master all the notes, and that's what I'm going to start to go into the drills now, all right? The questions and the drills, and making you think about it, all right? I come to the next route over here, and I'm going to start throwing. We're going to start to do the drills. So we said that every natural note has a corresponding flat note. So like A, the note below A is A flat. The note below G is G flat. The note below D is D flat, right? Like this. However, there are two exceptions between the notes B and C. There's no note. And I'm going to do a video. I've done videos on my channel like years ago about this, but I'm going to do it again. It's just like I don't really even have a piano right now. I had one and I give it to a family member. Really like it was kind of bought for them, and they're no longer, you know, we're no longer, the situation was such that they went farther away, and they wanted the piano, so I give it to them, you know, that I used in the other video. So I got to get another one. But I do have a little MIDI controller that I don't can't really set up right now to play notes with it. But I can show physically the piano, like the notes. If you go on the piano between B and C, there's not a black note. There's two white notes right next to each other. So there's always like a white note, a black note, a white note, a black note, alternating like this. So every time you see two white notes, there's a black note between. Just like I've been saying, if you go between C and D, I said there's a 3-note cluster, C and D, and then you got the note that's between C and D, in between there. On a piano, you can physically see this. If you go to the note C on the piano and you go to the note D, you'll see two white notes right next to each other, like touching each other, but in between, staggered like up there, like up on the higher part of the piano, there's a black note between the C and the D. And that's your sharp. That's in the 3-note cluster, it's C sharp, right? But if you're looking at it from the flat perspective, it's the note that's below D, so you can also call it D flat. So it's that note that's above C and that note that's below D. If you're thinking of it as the note above C, it's C sharp. If you're thinking of it as the note that's below D, it's D flat. Either way, it's the same exact note. It just has two names. Okay, I hope this is becoming more clear. I repeat myself ad nauseum until you get nauseous. But that's intentional. It's not just because I want to be long-winded. I know how the brain learns things. It's something I'm very good at. I'm very good at learning, the skill of learning. And I repeat and repeat because if you go through this repetition process with me, you're looking at the same thing from all kinds of angles, and then after a while, it's just like, yeah, come on, man, I know this. But you got to be patient, because even if you're solid and you know it, you want to slow down. You want to slow down, because it's solidifying stronger and stronger and stronger to where you'll know it in your sleep. Like, I don't recall ever this happening, but I could probably go to sleep and have a dream that I'm playing the piano, and like I'll see the notes. I'll see where the sharps and the flat, because I know this stuff so well. And that's the goal here. So let's go through. This video is running a little long. I'm gonna try to get through these drills, like introduce them. Let's start working, all right? So what's the note below A? A is a white note, right? What's the note below it? A flat. Is A flat a white note or a black note on the piano? It's gonna be a black note, because the sharps and the flats are the black notes. See? So the white note is a natural, and then you have the flat, A flat. Okay? Like this. What's the note below B? B flat. Between B and C, there's no note, right? So what's the note below C? Well, between B and C, you're not going to physically see a black note. It's just two white notes next to each other with no black note there. So the note below C is B. Then between C and D, right, we have a note there. It's the note that's below D. What's the note below D? D flat. Then the note below E. E flat. See? Between E and F, there's not a half step. I mean, there is a half step. There's no note between E and F. There's not a third note there. It's just two notes. So below F is the note E, a half step down. Below the note G, a half step below G. Well, when you're looking at G, what you're gonna see two white notes next to each other, F and G, right? But then there's that note that's between F and G, a black note. It's the note below G. So what are we calling it? G flat. Then you have G and A, two white keys on the piano. They're next to each other, but then there's a third note between, a black key. That black key corresponds to the note below A or above G. In flat mode, what are we gonna call it? I'm gonna call it A flat, the note below A, okay? So let's go through all of them, counting up like this again. All of this is review, but I'm just, you can't slow down too much. So A, let's count backwards. Let's go down from A and go descending downwards until we get down to the next A, an octave below, okay? So A, the note below A is A flat. That would be a black key, right, on the piano. Below A flat is the note below the note below the note A flat is G. So let's practice a couple of these. Like I said, I want to break down the videos into skills and kind of really drill one skill per video is the main goal, to add a new skill each video. So we know that if we start on a white key and we go down, right? If we go down from a letter that doesn't have a sharp or flat, no, if we go down 1/2 step, it becomes the corresponding flat. So the note below G is G flat, the note below A is A flat, the note below D is D flat. Except with the exceptions of B, C, and E, F, the note below C will be B, the note below F will be E, because there's no black note between. I feel like I've said that before. Now, that's one skill, to go down from the white note to the flat that's corresponding beneath it. But what if you start on a flat? What if you start on one of the black keys? What if you start on one of the black keys? Then what? See? Well. What's going to happen now is if you're going down a 1/2 step from a black key, you're always going to land on a white key. Always. If you go down a 1/2 step, starting from a flat note, and you go down by a 1/2 step, you're always going to land on a white key or a natural note, but it's going to be the letter before. So for example, I start on D flat. D flat is the note below D. It's a black key. If I go down from D flat by a 1/2 step, I'm going to land on a white key, but can it be D? No, it can't, because D flat is already the note below D. So if I go down from D to D flat, now I'm on a black key, I go down again one more time, now I'm going to be on the next letter, which will be C, the letter before D. So if I'm climbing down by 1/2 step intervals, say starting on D, and I go down by a 1/2 step, what's that note? You tell me, what's that note? The note below D is D flat, right? Is D flat a white or a black key on the piano? See, it feels like you know it until I ask you. Then you're like, It's a black key. Okay, it's a black key. I'm on the black key. I go down one more time from D flat. I'm going to land on a white key, which will be C, the letter before D. So it's like this: D, D flat, C. Now I put a bunch of short videos on my channel that you can, some of them I put drills. I put drills where I do the 3-note cluster and I'm doing this drill, and you could leave that on repeat and practice until it's solid with each letter. I did it for each letter. But again, D, the note below D is D flat. The note below D flat will be C. So the note below D flat is C. Matter of fact, I want to teach this skill in the 3-note clusters. Let's do it like that because it gives more context and more clarity, I think. So let's do it like this, right? Let's say we're starting on the note E. Is E a white note or a black note on the piano? It's a white note because it doesn't have the sharp or flat on it, right? Okay. The note below E will be what? It's like you already know this. What's the note below E? It's an E flat. E flat is what? Is it white or is it black? It's gonna be a black key. E flat is a black key. Okay? Now we're on E flat. We're gonna go down one more time. What's the note below E flat? We started on E and we went down to E flat, right? So if we go down again, can it be E again? It can't. So it has to be the note, the letter before E. It's a D. So going down, you have E, E flat, white key, black key, white key again, D. E, E flat, D. So let's do several more of these. If I start with C, there's no flat between B and C, so if I go down from C to B, it'll just be C to down to B. If I start on F, and there's no flat note between E and F, so it's just gonna be F and then down 1/2 step to E. But if I start on all of the other letters, it's the same thing. So let's do all of them. Starting on A, down 1/2 step, A flat, which is a black key, right? Below A, it's going to be the note in the musical alphabet before, in the letters before A, G. So A flat, G, A flat, G. Let's go up to B. What's the note below B? The note below B is B flat. What's the note below B flat? See, this is what you gotta do. This is what you gotta suffer through to learn this stuff. Oh boy. The at least one rule in full action. I don't even have to hit a bump today. Out of nowhere. RKO out of nowhere. My phone got RKO'd out of nowhere. In midair. I love those memes. The Randy Orton memes. They're hilarious. Like, some things never get old. Randy Orton getting old, but his memes don't get old. Anyway. Oh man, you gotta laugh sometimes. If you're either gonna laugh or you're gonna cry. So let's laugh, right? Where were we before we were so rudely interrupted? B, down 1/2 step, B flat. Down 1/2 step from B flat, A. So B flat, A, B flat, A, B flat, A. You repeat, you start to like be able to see the letters in your head and everything. You start to be able to hear it in your head. Like, you know what's coming next because you repeat it so many times. B flat, A, B, down 1/2 step, B flat is a black key. Below that, A, okay, like this. Going up to C. There's no sharp between B and C, so C, go down to B. That's easy. All right, let's go to the next one. By the way, I'm working another snowstorm today. It's been real nasty out here lately. So after C is D, right? So let's go down from D to C, 3-note clusters. D, the note below D, is D white or black? First of all, it's white. Well, note below D, D flat. Note below D flat, C. So D, D flat, C. D, D flat, C. D, D flat, C. I'm gonna have to go home and edit this particular one. I'm gonna have to find time so that I could show. I'm gonna show the piano. I'm gonna start showing the piano so we can see it and learn it on visually. Assign what we're doing to the piano. This is a guitar channel. I don't care. Like, this is more of a musician channel than a guitar channel, right? I'm a guitarist. My end goal is to really help guitar, but I'm more interested in helping people to become musicians more than anything. It's really why I started it. So, you know, we could do it through the guitar, we could do it whatever way you want. Like, but learning music theory is best learned on a piano, with a piano as aid, and by through just automatically you're gonna learn to play the piano. You're gonna learn how to find notes on the piano, at least, right? So I'm gonna start to put piano. I'm gonna have to make corresponding video to put it so I can show what I'm talking about. Then you're gonna be real strong. All right, so we'll do it like that. Pray for me. I don't know how I'm gonna have the time to do it. But yeah. And you know, this content will evolve. We will adapt the content. Oh man. Rough time this morning, huh? Rough time. Rough time. It's okay. You just go like this. Just go. Let's don't stress. Be happy. Everything's jacked. Well, we're gonna still make it positive. Working in the snow, just that. All right. So anyway, let's keep going. We were at D, right? Let's go to E. Same thing. Note below E, E flat. Note below E flat, gonna be E. E, not E, D, sorry. The note below, before. So, the letter before. E, E flat, D. E, E flat, D. E, E flat, D. Like that. Going up to F, the note below F. Well, it's the two white keys are right next to each other. Gonna be E, F, right next to each other, right? So, the note, you just go F down to E. G, same thing. G, the note below G, G flat. Note below G flat. It's gonna be F. G, G flat, F. G, G flat, F. G, G flat, F. G, and I mean, this video is getting super duper long, but you understand, like, when you're on your own time, I recommend you repeat it to yourself. Like, do these 3-note things. And if you have a piano, you know, you're blessed to have a piano, practice the notes in 3-note pieces like I'm saying here, in the 3-note clusters. Practice them like that. I don't even know if that landed right. Let's go check it out. Look what it's like out here today. I mean, it's not exactly a snowstorm, but for where I live, this is, well, for me, it's a piece of cake. I mean, I could ride a bike in this nonsense, like in the snow. So this doesn't really faze me, but it's still not that fun for... And you got to be out here like literally every day of your life, and you never get a day off. it does cost extra time and I don't get paid. Let's just say I don't get paid by the hour. It can almost be proper to say that I don't get paid and just leave it at that. Practice on the piano these 3-note clusters. Practice it. Not 2-3 times per letter. Do it multiple times. 10 times, 15 times before you move to the next one. Hey, good morning. Okay. This is pretty good. Yeah, I mean, this is about as bad as it got, so there you go. I'm grateful. You know, it's not as bad as last time. Yeah. Okay, have a good day. Sorry, people, I got, you know, in real life, you got to engage with people when they're there. Having issue with my seatbelt now. It's stupid and it doesn't want to work. Got it. All right. This car's 2 years old, and it's already got 96,000 miles. Like, I do a lot of driving, a lot of wear and tear, and my seatbelt's trying to not work. A lot of distractions today, but it's all good. It's good to take breaks in between to practice. So anyway, let's go again. We were on G, and I said note below G, G flat, note below G flat is F. G, G flat, F. G, G flat, F. G, G flat, F. G, G flat, F. Okay? And then the next letter is A. So A, the note below A flat, note below A flat, G. Okay? A flat, G. A flat, G. A flat, G. A flat, G. I'm gonna do it like I would really do it in real life if I'm practicing, right? You gotta have patience for this stuff. A flat, G. A flat, G. A flat, G. We're back where we started, right? Let's go. B flat. A. B flat. A. B flat. A. B flat. A. Let's go up to C. C, B. Like, okay, I don't need to practice that no more. Let's go up to D. D. What in the world? Well, I said, right? At least one. It did it 3 times. It's a new world record. I gotta get a phone holder. I gotta get a phone holder. This is insanity. That what happened is my phone case broke too. It's breaking. So now the phone is, you know, it used to just sit here and I would be able to film, but now it's breaking, and like this is why I'm suffering so much. So we're up to D, right? D flat, C, D flat, C, D flat, C, D flat, C, like this. Practice mad times, like D flat, C, D flat, C, like this. Okay, and you go up to E. Waiting for my phone to go flying now. E flat, D, E flat, D. It's like these are the drills that you do when you watch the paint dry on the wall. E flat, D. E flat, D. You see, like, it's the most boring thing in the world. But what happens? E flat, D. What happens is later on, when you need this stuff, when you're doing more interesting concepts, it'll be at your command. E, E flat, D. Go to F, F, E. Okay, F, E, F, E. There's no flat. Okay, G, G, G flat, F, G, G flat, F, G, G flat, F, G, G flat, F. Do you see? It's like the same thing, like when you hopefully learned how to do your times tables. E. I'm sorry, G, G flat, F. Okay, and it's just like this. One video, but I think there's, between all of the comedy and the bloopers, I think there's a lot of value here for you. Because I'm showing you like what I really did to gain command of this. This is what I did. Like I've been saying, it's not rocket science. This is not just for like an exclusive club of people, like you're genetically special so you could do this thing. No. You have to approach it the right way. You have to be patient. You have to listen, 90% of the battle is just to show up every time. If you're patient and you watch these videos and you go through this, you will be rewarded with the skill of being able to understand music theory. Because you're already able to understand music theory. You just gotta go through the process of learning it in a smart way. In a smart way doesn't mean in the most complicated way, in the most difficult way possible. What I mean by in a smart way is like this. This stuff I'm showing you here. Like, you gotta learn it in a way that makes it easy and simple to yourself, where things become just utterly obvious to you, and boring. Mundane, like, oh man, I'm gonna practice my flats again. I know this already, but I gotta practice it again. C, B, D, D flat, C, D, D flat, C, D, D. You do the same thing with the sharps. And if you do it enough times, what's gonna happen is you won't need to do it anymore. Just like how when I was a little kid, they showed me how to write the letters, like they put the little dashes, and we practiced, right? Writing the letters on the paper until we knew all of the letters. And then they showed us how to write our name because we knew the letters. Now we could write our name, and now we're writing our name with the dashes. Then at some point, you don't need to think about how to. You don't need to try to learn anymore how to write your name. You just know how to write your name. If I woke you up in the middle of the night and I'm like, here, write your name right here, and then you could go back to sleep. You'll just write your name real quick, and then you leave me alone and go back to sleep, right? That's what, if you do this way enough and you just put in the reps, you'll have full command of all of the notes, and you'll be able to recall what's between what and where, and you'll be able to see it on a piano or on your instrument if you practice, if you develop ways to practice finding the notes on your instrument the same way and corresponding. And so what will happen is you'll just know it and you won't have to think about it anymore. And then you're able to use the skill set of music theory to your advantage to learn music. If you want to learn sheet music, you'll be able to read sheet music. Sheet music is familiarity with the staff and the notes, rhythms and things like this, time signature, and all of these concepts. But part of being able to read sheet music is you need to understand these music theory concepts too. It's like when they show you like, okay, it's a G clef and it has like 2 sharps. Like, what key is that? See? It's like, wait a minute. Like, it's all the stuff that we're practicing now. But we're not up to that yet. But I'm just saying, it has sharps, right? What are the sharps? Notes between the regular letters. So it is a key that has 2 sharps. And you will know what key it is. You will know when you see that what is that key? What's the root? If you see 4 sharps, what key is that? If you see 3 flats, what key is that? See, like this. But what that is really, you already need to know this stuff, and then you need to be able to have full command of it. So like when you're trying to read, you're not trying to figure this stuff out on the spot, or else you'll be stuck. Trust me, I've done it many times. You know, I've been stuck and I couldn't learn to think, I couldn't understand because I didn't have enough music theory at the time. Right? This is like a really long one. But I'll come back and we'll do the drills. And we're gonna get strong with moving up and down through all the flats in both directions. And then we'll start to do whole step jumps. And then after that, I'm gonna go back to sharps and we're gonna double down, being able to move between the sharps and between the flat. Like we're gonna beat this thing. We're gonna beat this thing like a drum until we just know it. We know it cold. We know it like the back of our hand. Right? So anyway, thank you for watching. For those of you who have made it this far, probably nobody, but it's all good. I mean, in time, there'll be more and more of you being able to use this information to conquer this seemingly impossible, because that's what it could feel like, topic. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.